Good. Hey, it's Coach Pete. It's Thursday. Supposed to be Arizona time, but evidently it's a little bit later than that. I apologize for being late. This is your weekly deliberate practice for family business professionals and other professionals. This week is all about a landmine story. Patriarch passes away unexpectedly. So remember, we'd like you to come back every Thursday. We're going to review a story, give you an idea or two. The people that are the very best at what they do, they practice. And so we'd love for you to come back here, learn something, give you something to think about, and we'd like you to take away some action and some ideas for action every week as well. In February 2015, I got a call from Ron, my client Ron, in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Ron called me and let me know that his father David had passed away unexpectedly the night before. So that was a difficult call to get. David's health wasn't terribly great, but it's still was very surprising and alarming to the family that he had passed so quickly. And luckily, he had turned over the day-to-day operations of the business to his three sons. He would still come to work every day and have lunch with a few of the long-term employees, so he was still around the business, but he wasn't really involved in it day to day. The sudden loss of a patriarch is one of the things that can come up as a landmine for family businesses. We have something called the landmine detection map you should check out at our website. But when a patriarch goes away, many times the relationships and the power in the family starts moving around and can take a little different shape. So that's why it's a really good reason to get the patriarch to lead discussions about vision, values, family harmony. It'd be really good to be able to do that before the patriarch leaves unexpectedly. As luck would have it, this family had a family leader that had reached out to me 4 years earlier and said that they wanted to start having family meetings. And so we had already had a few family meetings. And coming into the second year's annual family meeting, I reached out to David and told him that I was going to help tee him up in a section of the educational part of the retreat for him to talk about his belief in business, his philosophy of work, etc. And he said to me he really didn't want to do that. He wasn't very good. It wasn't really comfortable with that. He thought he was more good in one-on-one settings with either his sons or his grandkids as that opportunity presented itself. But I told him, no, that was my job, to stretch him, stretch everybody in the family, and there really wasn't going to be a better opportunity. I told him, trust me, just show up, and I'm going to facilitate this conversation on Saturday morning. So we got there, and on Saturday morning, I led a discussion with David and all the grandkids about what he believed in business, what was important, work ethic, integrity, how to take care of the customers. It was really awesome. I asked him questions, kind of interviewed him, and really got to have a really, really good session. So here's the patriarch. He was in his mid-70s, and he was really getting to share so much of his wisdom to all the grandkids. And as part of our family retreat process, I captured all those notes. I sent them out to the family afterwards. And so when I got that call that David had passed away unexpectedly, of course I was sad for the family, but it was also one of those moments where I really had a great deal of joy knowing that I had helped facilitate that session with him and those grandkids that ranged in age probably from 17 to 27 years old. And yeah, I'm sure they had gotten some of Grandpa's wisdom, but part of the deliberate practice of a family retreat is to really formalize some of those discussions, capture them, and that's something that they'll all have for many years to come. Now, this is kind of an interesting subject for me this week because I was going through some of my grandfather's folders. Richard Walsh was our patriarch and the founder of our business. And so, I've got these notes from him from 1960s, And this is one that's handwritten, and he's really outlining the things that he believed in the most: efficiency, hard work, experience, economy, knowledge. I love this one, simpatico. I got to look that word up. And then he put next to it empathy. Really cool, because that's a really important thing that I try to help people work with a lot. Teamwork, taste, he says. I got to read about that, what he meant by that. Cooperation, perfection, loyalty, insight, faith, and imagination. So I'm like getting to sit here and learn and spend time with my grandfather, even though he's been gone for several decades. This is still on the parchment paper, his memo to the employees of our family business. And he talks about the need for hard work and the profit sharing plan they put in place in 1956. He said, we lost a fine employee, not because he was unhappy with his working conditions, pay, or progress, but because he felt someday he would like to own, or at least be a full partner in his own business. And then he goes on to say that's the reason we have a profit sharing plan. So, you know, for you patriarchs, or for people in families, or all of us, quite honestly, we've lost a couple of our friends in their 50s over the last few years. Write down what's important to you. Consider writing a little book, making a video. That's really easy to do. That's something that you can have around for the folks after you're gone. We know that my kids, I'm sure they'll just dive into those 50 coaching videos I've got. William was around to make most of them, but the point is you can take some action. Get your patriarchs to start talking about their vision, their values, the things that are important. Lead some discussions with them now. Do what I did. Don't take no for an answer. They're going to be like, oh no, and I'm humble and I don't want to do that. Don't do that. Get the families talking about the vision and values. Write down what you believe in. Write your family experiences. That will be really good for the family. Karen, what do you think? Are you going to write a book or leave some notes for your kids?
Sure.
All right, you're going to get working on that? And so, you know, even my grandmother, one of her favorite recipes we've got up in our kitchen in her handwriting, and it says, do it this way, let it sit for a while, have a 5 o'clocker, I think it says, a little cocktail. So look, one of the things you got to do in a family, in any family, whether you have a family business, is pass on your knowledge. So if a patriarch passes away unexpectedly, you know, we want to get all that knowledge out of them before they go. Thank you for being back here this time. We have our landmine detection kit, landmine detection map at our website. We have a family business survival kit that you can download at familybusinessperformance.com. And take some time this week and write down some of your thoughts and ideas that you can pass on. And maybe your children's children will be reading them and looking at that 50 years from now, and you'll be teaching long after you're gone. Thank you so much. Karen, anything else?
I think you've covered it all, Coach.
Sorry we were late today, and we'll see you back here next week. Thanks.